10th October 2024, and we are sitting in Lithuania at Vilnius Tech University. And I have with me Mr. Omkar, who's basically from India. Omkar, thank you for joining for session.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me for this session.
So basically, Omkar, when it comes to study abroad, a lot of students have a lot of choices.
Yep.
But you come from India and you have chosen Lithuania as a study destination. I think it's very important today to understand why students from Asian countries, specifically India, Nepal, Pakistan, Bangladesh, are choosing Baltic countries these days for their higher education.
Sir, there are multiple reasons for this. My entire focus was to go in a country which is not yet explored by a lot of India people. I don't want it to go, in Canada, in US, where there is a lot of population, lot of Indian population, because at the end of the day, you need to compete with people, and I don't want to compete with Indians going in a foreign country. So that was one of the major reasons. The second major reason comes in the financial part as well. I was looking forward to a country which is not super expensive for me, which is easily manageable, and where I see that there is a lot of growth opportunities. And when I was searching for all this, Germany is also very much explored by a lot of Asian students right now. So I thought choosing Lithuania was one of the best options. Lithuania, Latvia, these countries are, right now the best options for any Asian students.
So tell me something about your background and what are you, where you come from?
Okay. So I'm an engineer. I've done engineering from Galgodia's back there in Delhi. And I have a 5 year of working experience. I was working in different SaaS-based MNCs across India. You always want to have a kickstart to go above and beyond. And that's where I thought, and I planned for my master's. So yes, right now I'm here doing master's in business leadership, since I have that entrepreneurship mindset and the craziness for doing business and managing a business. So that's why I'm here.
So basically, you use the word economically sound
Yep.
country.
hmm
Now, I have been making a lot of videos about this. I always meet different students, and every year I try to bring more content from them because every student have a different perspective,
Sure.
right? And I think no experience can be completed until the student bring its own experience.
Yep. 100%.
So you are living here in Lithuania for how many days now?
So it's been around 2 months since I'm here in Lithuania.
Okay, right. So in 2 months' time, you see Lithuania as a destination which let's talk in overall. Would you recommend people from Asian countries, which I just mentioned, all this
Yep.
country, Nepal, Pakistan, that they should look into this as a destination for higher education?
Truly, I would recommend you to look for these countries, these Baltic countries, as your study abroad destination, rather than going to the countries like US, UK, and Germany, because it's already very crowded. Plus, you pay a hefty amount of fees, plus the living expenses. Plus, then there's a lot of things that wherein you'll find. The whole purpose of coming into a new country is to basically understand their culture, basically grow our mindset. Basically, when you speak with European people, you understand how they sit, how they eat, how they do things. So that's where my mindset changes when I come to here. When I come here in Lithuania, I see how these people work, and when I come, when I compare it on the price basis, when I compare it on the economic sense, it's not very higher or very expensive as compared to India. Let's say if you can get something in India for 100 rupees, you can get the same thing in Lithuania, I guess, for 150 or 160 rupees. That's the major difference.
Okay, so basically you have seen the difference is not
Yep.
too big.
Yep.
So like in Canada, US, and Australia, we see a huge difference.
Yes, truly.
That's why the living cost becomes too expensive.
Yep.
We when you come from India, especially being a Sikh individual, you're from a Sikh religion. How do you see a difference in culture? Because you don't see a lot of Sikh individuals or Sikh families based in Lithuania.
Yep.
So how does culture fit comes here?
Truly, there's very limited Sikh people here. When we talk about culture, there's a huge difference because people majority are here Christian, Jewish, or Russians. These are the nationalities of the people. But I feel like that it's more important that how do you connect with the people. I researched it online. When I felt I was a little lonely, I went to there's an ISKCON temple nearby Old Town. I went there. It was a pleasing experience for me. I know that there's no Gurdwara nearby, but I understand that it's just because there's a very minor population of sick people over here. But as compared to cultures, yeah, I mean the best part is if I understand and I adapt what other people culture is, and that will give me a growth kind of a sense for myself as well.
Great. When we talk about going to another country, going to European countries, the first thing people say, oh, I'm going to Europe. They have a different language. See, language barriers sometimes become a biggest challenge for some people to understand. Like, will I go to this country or not? Or otherwise, English-speaking countries like Ireland, UK, Australia are the popular countries because they use a common language.
Yes,
It's
yes.
true also,
Yeah.
but you end up paying a huge amount of money.
Yes.
But if you're saving a money here, you're saying a quality education is there. How do you deal with this language issue?
I mean, honestly speaking, there is language issue that a lot of people don't even speak English. But when we talk about that, there's a majority of people who speak English. When I talk about jobs, there are many MNCs across in Lithuania who hire in all Lithuania. They give you remote work. They speak in English. They do everything in English. Even when you go to Lidl, Maxima, Iki, there will be always one or two staff who speak English. There is a difference, but they are actually overcoming this difference because they also understand that we are inviting a lot of students who speak only English. And you know, I feel like that I'm here, I should learn Lithuanian as well. It is tough, but it's not like that I can't learn it. I am trying it. But because whenever you go to a new country, you should learn their language. That's the rule that I think I should follow. But yeah, I mean there is difference. Obviously, a lot of people don't speak English, but again, there's a lot of people who speak English who help you. And honestly saying, I've seen people of Lithuania, they are so helpful. One day I was just walking down the street and I wanted to go to somewhere, but I was not able to find the address. The gentleman comes in and I asked him about the address. He was not able to help me because he could not understand what I was saying in English. But what he did he checked the address and he walked with me for another 5 minutes to drop me to that location.
Wow.
So that's the kind of beauty of the people that I've seen here.
I think humbleness is something which we can experience here
True.
quite common.
Yeah, that's really common. It's just you should have guts to ask them because a lot of people don't even have to feel like that we cannot ask them or something like that. But it's not like that. I'm not saying that 100% of the people will help, but at least 90-95% of the people will help.
But I think I have an opinion here that if you go to Bihar or you go to Uttaranchal or Uttarkashi, remote areas of India, our grandmothers also don't speak their English language in those cities.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, let's say the young generation of Lithuania. I'm talking about people of your age group.
Yep.
People from 20s to 30s. Would you still say that they also don't speak English?
No, they speak English pretty well. I mean, because majorly their courses are in English, plus they are one of those very major contributor of the exchange programs that's happening, and these all exchange programs are also happening in English countries. So they basically speak good English. When we talk about people of our age, they very well converse with us. They very well connect with us, and they properly speak English and help us.
Coming from India, when I travel, I really, I'm a foodie, right? And I always try to stick to my own food a lot of time because I think that's a very important part of our life. I think in India, I always tell Europeans, when they sometimes make a joke that why do you need Indian food all the time? I say the Indian people are so much into food for so many years that they need at least a part of the meal as an Indian food.
True.
How easy is it? Of course, I know there are Indian restaurants, but the students can't go to Indian restaurants on a daily basis. So let's suppose, say, if you are a student here and you are living here for a long term as well. So how will you manage your food habits, Indian food habits in Lithuanian culture?
So I'll tell you. So there's a lot of shops like Maxima, Little Icky, all these. They do sell food, which you can say Indian. They sell lentils. There is different lentils that you get here. I mean, there is truly limited vegetables here. But when you let's say if you are a non-vegetarian, you can get variety of chicken here. There's nothing that you can't get in non-veg part. When we talk about veg, you can get easily. You can get potatoes, onions, tomatoes very easily. They
The
do
most basic of
Yeah.
our masalas.
exactly,
Right.
exactly. Plus, there are several Indian stores as well. That will be a little bit costlier than these Maxima Little and everything. But since they are giving you the Indian food, they deserve to charge more. And if you know how to cook, if you can cook, see, trust me when I say this, I cook daily for myself. and I have been experimenting a lot of different food. Yesterday I cooked eggplant and potatoes. It was a good thing. Someday I used to cook bread pakoda for myself. It is manageable. It's just like that. You have to put some efforts for sure.
I think on this topic, I would like to give you a small, link in the description where you see one of my students from Latvia giving me a complete description that how he got one full suitcase of only spices, and he didn't got any jackets because he said, "I knew that you need to buy your jacket in Europe because that's the
for
most
sure.
important thing."
Yeah.
So he's like, I got my whole ration from India. And I literally asked him, because this is what I tell people, that you can actually take two luggages, take one luggage for your ration because you will be needing it.
Yeah,
Then
I did
first
the
thing
same.
you need to say.
Yeah, I did the
Okay,
same.
okay. So you have a lot of stuff with you.
I mean, so I know for sure that people don't eat spices here.
Yeah.
So I bought all the masalas. I have, garam masala with me. I have dhania masala with me. I have lal mirch with me. All these masalas, all these spices,
Correct.
plus the things that I know that I'll not be able to find here. For first initial days, it sounds very stupid, but I carried a milk powder for myself. I thought that I'll not be able to get milk or something like that. I had these questions in my mind, so I bought milk powder as well.
But I'm sure you know that every supermarket has milk.
Yeah,
Easily
now
accessible.
yeah.
So student, you don't have to buy milk because milk is something which you can get next door.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I think this is very good because then you know what to do.
Yes.
Next thing comes is when it comes to Lithuania, as we overall were discussing, travel is something which people are very concerned about. And okay, tuition fee, I know. Living expenses, they can see vlogs like these, right? Travel, if I have to go one point to another point. So let's say I'm a student in Lithuania. And I want to go either from my hostel to my university, my university to my work, my work to my some other work, or back to my hostel again or apartment again. How much money students should be prepared to spend on monthly basis? I'm going to split it in two parts. One, public transport, which is bus and train, and also in taxis.
So taxis here are, let's say if you have to go around like 5 to 7 kilometers, it's gonna charge you 4 to 5 euros for the entire destinations. When you first sign up, you get good crazy discount of 80% on your first ride as well. So you can sign up when you come here and you can get to your place from the airport very cheap. So taxis are.
Can you name the best taxi app here?
So I've been using Bolt right now, and Bolt is fast, is convenient, and it's very hassle free. I mean, you don't have to do a lot of things in that. So Bolt is something which I use regularly.
So student, you can basically download the app, but I believe you can only activate it once you're at the airport.
So you need your number, Lithuanian number, because it can't be activated on the Indian number.
I think I have it on Indian number.
Okay, I need to check because I did it on Lithuanian number.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure about this.
Okay. I think you can start on your Indian number as well. And the best thing is that you load the app, you got in the airport, and you always have free Wi-Fi at the airport.
Yes.
So do not take a black taxi. It's expensive, guys. Do not take Uber. Anything else. I think Bolt is, as Omkar said, it's a very convenient and the cost-effective way to travel, and I also use the same. And I, honestly speaking, if you don't do it peak hours, the average bill I pay 3 to 5 euros.
Yeah, 3 to 5 euros is the max.
So if I'm going from Delhi to Dwarka to Connaught Place, I'm be paying 500 rupees there also.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
So I'm paying 5 euros from Delhi to Connaught Place, whereas I'm paying similar kind of distance.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit lesser, it's still doable.
Yeah.
So how about let's forget about the cab because students in student life, you don't use cabs on daily basis.
Exactly.
Tell me more about the local transportation.
So local transport, buses. Europe is, Lithuania for sure is well connected with buses.
Okay.
These are electric buses which has access to all the parts of Vilnius, and it just costs you 5 euros a month. So how it is?
What do you say? How many euros?
5 euros a month.
5 euros a month for per ride.
No, you travel as much as you want. It's just going to cost you 5 euros for 1 month.
Are you serious?
I'll tell you how it happens. So when you become a student, you have your student contract, or you have your application letter from the university. You go and you get your ISEC card, which is ISIC card, and you get it for 13 euros. It's a one-time investment. The card will be valid from the start of your contract to the end of your contract in the university. and you can load that card with €5, and that gives you a 1 month free, a 1 month 80% discount ride on all the public buses. So for entire 1 month, you can ride as much as you can, and it will not cost you anything. Only the €5 that you recharge.
And this is in the city,
Yeah, this is in the city.
not the intercity.
Yeah, not the intercity. This is in the city because you can also download a Traffy app. You can also download the Judo app. I don't know if that's called Judo or not. I'm not 100% sure about it. But these are the kind of app which actually tells you about how much does it cost on regular basis and how much does it cost on the Isaac card. Plus, you can use Google Maps, Wise, these kinds of mapping tools here. They can tell you well about which bus to take, how much you have to go, how many stops you have to go, where do you have to deboard, all these kinds of things. And it's just so I have only spent €5 every month to recharge my Isaac card, and I've been traveling here and there. Sometimes going to Old Town for something, sometimes just going to Indian Embassy. So it's just €5 for me for a month.
Great. I think €5 means, if I convert it into Indian currency as well, I would say it's 500 rupees kind of,
Yep.
And you can't even travel in India, in Delhi, in a metro for a full month for 500 bucks.
Yep. Yep.
One route to, from Dwarka to North Place itself is 60 rupees.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You do 10 rides, you're 600 rupees. Whereas, so when we talk about, I think whenever I was telling students about, all these years, that Baltic countries are not very costly and they're cost effective.
Yep.
I think this is what I really mean.
Yep.
But as is always said, no experience can be completed without students' experience, because what you can share, nobody else can share, because when students are living here, they are on the ground zero level.
Yes.
So they know the ground reality.
Yeah.
I of course always try to make such videos because with students, because that really helps our audience to understand what is the reality, because I can say anything, but then now when you are saying it, we are sitting right now in the Wellness Tech campus, a beautiful campus, you can see it's a lush green place, and there are multiple hostels also in this area, right?
Yeah.
So if we talk about the I know we will be going to be covering the hostel in the next part, but is it cheaper to rent an apartment or a hostel?
It always depends on the number of people that you have. You can get. So I think that's a very very important question, and a lot of people have these questions in their mind. But I think that I cannot summarize into 1-2 lines. I have to make a good video on it so that I can tell you about the sites where you can find that. I can tell you about the dormitories, all in much detail. So I think that would be very useful for your audience. I would be definitely making that video very soon, and maybe we can share it with your audience.
Great, super. So students, let me tell you that in next coming few weeks, you will be seeing some different videos from Omkar, which he has commented us about helping students about living in Lithuania, which include part-time jobs, which include your opportunities to full-time jobs, which also include your cost of food in Lithuania. So stay tuned and keep watching this channel where you can get all the information about studying Lithuania. So thank you, Omkar. Thanks a lot for this time.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.